Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 80 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Getting closer to that 100 every week. Well, obviously, it goes up by one. I'm wearing my Norwegian Reds hat today.
Any reason why?
Yes, there is. Since we met the Norwegian Reds supporters group from Norway before Christmas.
Yep.
Lovely guys. They were great. They gave me this hat and they gave my son one as well.
Didn't give me one, but whatever.
No, they
whatever.
didn't. But since that, we've been flying in Norway, haven't we? We've been, a couple of weeks ago, we were number 7 in the Apple podcast charts in Norway for football. Mm-hmm. And last week, we were number 5 in the Apple podcast charts for football in Norway.
Hopefully, we'll be number 1.
Yeah, hopefully. I tried to learn...
oh, God.
What? Tried to learn a thank you in Norwegian, and we've started recording, it's just gone out my head. But thank you. That I know that's English, but yeah, apologies. I tried to. I know it was taxadaway. Taxadahay.
Why are you looking at me? I have no idea.
I apologise.
I have no idea.
I'll try and learn it. Get us to number 1, and I'll learn it for next week, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Thank you very much to everyone in Norway. You're absolutely smashing the podcast at the moment, so thank you very much for that. We're going to start with the FA Cup discussion this week. I think it's quite important that we talk about it. So, just to give it a little bit of context to explain why we have the opinion that we have. So, I work shifts in the job that I do. So, 1 week, Monday to Friday, I will work 5 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. The following week, I will work 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night. So, I work 9 hours when I'm early and 8 hours when I'm on afternoons, and they just alternate back and to 1 week to the next. So the FA Cup game was due to be any day between the 26th and the 29th. I'm right with that, yeah?
Yep.
So we were hoping for a Saturday or a Sunday, if we're perfectly honest. Saturday, ideally, 3 o'clock, magic of the FA Cup and all that, perfect time for it. We understood that maybe we might be on TV, so we were hoping Friday night, not ideal, but it was doable because it was on a week where I was on 6-2, so I'd be finished at 2 in the afternoon on the Friday, jumped in the car, get to Blackburn, watch the game 7:30, 7:45, whatever time it would be on. Saturday, ideal, both off work, lads not in school, perfect, we could have done that one. Sunday, exactly the same scenario with that one, we could have done that as well. As it transpires, they have taken the decision to put the Blackburn game on a Monday night at 7:30. So that is the 29th of January. So I lost what month we were in for a minute. So 7:30, the 29th of January, which is a Monday. Now for us, I will be working 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night on that day. So the only way that I could go to that game would be by booking a day's holiday. Now, most of you are saying, well, what's wrong with that, booking a day's holiday? The problem is we're going on holiday in July, so I've already booked 6-7 days off for that. We're having a week off in October as well, so I've already booked days for that. And our son is off school around Easter, so we've booked time off for that. I've also booked time off for Chan's birthday and a couple of little things. That leaves me with very minimal days for the rest of the year. So I would have to book a full day off work for this.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is it's about sort of hedging your bets a little bit, because if we go through in this round, the next round is on a Wednesday when I am also working 2:10. So it's sort of like if I do this one, I couldn't do the next one.
The moral of the story is get a different job. A 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, so this is me whining. This is my personal moan about it being
You're
on
not
a
the
Monday.
only one. You're not the only one. Don't worry.
I know it'll be on BBC One Wales, so it will be on the TV. I don't know about internationally. I am assuming that ESPN will probably pick this up for all the international
They
fans.
usually do, don't they?
What's your thoughts on? I've made it quite clear. I'm very unhappy with the decision.
I'm gutted. Our nephew's gutted. He said to me yesterday, or Saturday, sorry, are you going to the Burnley? The Blackburn game.
God, don't mix up Blackburn and Burnley.
No, I know, sorry.
Whoa.
The Blackburn game. And I was like, oh no, we can't because Uncle Ryan's working. And he looked really sad. And I said, well, why don't you ask your dad if he'll take you?
But that's the other problem is people with young kids. It's a 7:30 kickoff. It's an hour and a half away. It's getting there during rush hour. You know, a lot of people wouldn't be able to leave until their kids finished school.
Which is about 3:30.
Yeah.
Depending what year you're in, I think.
Yeah, and then you're hitting dead on into rush hour traffic.
You've got the food.
Yeah,
It's
and
just logistically, it's a nightmare.
and if you've got young kids as well, that game isn't going to finish until about 9:30. You're not going to get out of the stadium till about 10 o'clock. By the time you get back to your car and home, you're looking at midnight getting home.
I mean, our lad wouldn't care.
He wouldn't, but if you've got kids that are 6 or 7 or
Yeah,
something like
it's a
that
bit-
you really wanted to take to the game, it sort of puts the complete kibosh on that, and you're not really able to do that anymore.
With that in mind, then, do you think that I'm assuming it's the EFL that make the decisions, or is it the club?
No, it'll be the FA that make that decision. Basically, it'll be. It's a bit of a.
It's not the club, is what I'm trying to get
The
at.
club might have been involved in the decision. You see, because they talk about what games they want to put on TV. BBC Wales would have gone, we'd really like to put this game on. So there would have been a bit of a. There might have been a discussion. I'm not sure whether they cut the clubs out of it completely.
Okay, my question is then, do you think, and a lot of people have said this, do you think that this game has chosen TV, or whoever's made the decision, have chosen TV over the fans?
Yeah, good, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's just about it's not really taking into account the fans. I don't think a Monday game. You know, don't get me wrong. Someone has to be on Monday. I get that. You know, but there is already a game on Monday without putting us on Monday as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is sort of TV over fans for me a little bit. And like I say, anyone with young kids. They're not, you know. Some might attend. You know, we went to Sheffield United last season. That was on a Tuesday night. That was the replay. We did that. It was a little bit different last year because of how, for me personally, because of how my shifts fell. I didn't necessarily have to take the same amount of time off.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's luck of the draw a little bit, and you know, on what happens, but. Yeah, it's one of them. I think, you know, they gave Leeds United 7,300 tickets for their league game recently. That was the size of
Blackburn, you mean?
Blackburn gave Leeds 7,300 tickets. I honestly believe on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday we'd have had a good crack at selling that out.
I think we would have.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
so. Now it's on a Monday. I can't see it happening. I can't see us selling 7,000 tickets for a Monday
you don't
night.
know. You've got people.
You don't
You've
know.
got people that haven't got children. You've got people that can book holidays the day after. You've got people that do work shifts, but they could be on their 4 off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There are a lot of people that kind of have that kind of, you know, luxury. Well, not luxury, but do you know what I mean? So if we do get the same allocation, I think there's a possibility that we could get it.
Yeah, I get that there are some people that would be able to make it because they're on. And I did see some comments on Twitter of people saying, you know, oh, that falls on my 4 off, or that falls on my right for my shift pattern.
But you are alienating a lot of people.
But that's not. I don't think you're going to get 7,000 people that suits.
No.
If I'm completely honest, I just don't think it's going to suit that many people.
And then you're going to get all the trolls saying, oh, you know, Wrexham haven't got diehard fans. It's not that we're not diehard. It's just that we we have jobs, and if we don't have jobs, we won't be able to go to the games.
Yeah,
and it's just
it's quite hard to judge our fan base at the moment as well. It is really hard because if you've got, if we had a 25,000 seater stadium, and we're getting attendances of 22,000, 21,000, there's 22,000 fans that are willing to go to the games. We've only got 12,000 odd at the moment, and we're selling that out. So we don't know how many people are actually missing out. We don't know if it's
2 people.
We don't know if it's another 12,000 that are missing out and not able to. It's really hard to judge how many people are in this fan base that would go to games on a regular basis. So you could be right that we could still have a decent crack at selling 7,000.
Yeah.
So a lot of Blackburn fans online saying they're gutted, because they wanted 7,000 of us going, and they wanted that atmosphere and stuff like that.
Could they change it?
Not now, no.
No, that's it. It's set in stone.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. A few comments that we saw on Twitter. So Ben said, picking TV over fans should be ashamed. Gav Lee said, awful decision by the club, left many families with young fans unable to attend. Very poor decision in my opinion. Mr. Speedy, I'd rather it not be on TV and have it moved to than have it moved to a Monday 7:30. Do they forget people have jobs?
Andy Mac 79 he's tagged in everyone. He's tagged in the club. Ryan Robb, BBC Wales, Emirates.
Yeah.
What a disgraceful decision. People talk about the magic and history of the FA Cup. Myself, my mates, our sons were planning a great away day on the 27th to Rovers. All that is gone now with this decision.
Yeah, Andy Trotsky, he said, that's a lot of kids and families. He did say something else before that, but I'll cut that out. And a great away day ruined. Even Blackburn was saying about doing a reduced price for the magic of the FA Cup. Would have been a great Saturday.
James J. Roper Painting, as a Rovers fan, this should have been on a Saturday just for you lot to fill the stand. Shocking decision.
Yeah, I think all in all, there were some people that were happy. The people that were happy that I'd seen commented were then getting abuse from the many people who found it as a poor decision.
It's one of them things you're not gonna please everybody, are you?
No.
But I would say...
I understand that point, although...
Stop pointing your finger. I would say that a lot of, not all, but a lot of, a percentage of the Wrexham fans are older, working class, working people who have jobs, work shifts, and all that. And it seems like that hasn't been taken into consideration with this.
No. Yeah, I think, like you say, it does suit some people.
Yeah, of course it does.
But I think it suits a lot less people.
Yeah.
And as I say, we always knew there was going to be a Monday night game. They picked the Monday night game. It wasn't us.
I'm surprised they chose us to play on a Monday, though.
Yeah, they didn't pick us for Monday night. Everyone was happy because they saw the schedule and they thought, perfect, we're going to be on a Saturday. That's great.
And then BBC Wales
stuck their nose in and decided to put it on a Monday. Yeah, very, very poor decision for me. Right.
So should we move on from the
we got to be
hatred of the FA Cup?
Yes. So we got to be careful with this now because so we had an incident last week. So there was a bit of a rumour. I just got to tiptoe through this a little bit because I don't want to cause additional problems to what had already been caused last week. Now,
stick to the facts.
Yeah. So I will leave some information out and you'll understand why in a minute. So there was a rumour that Charlie Savage and Robbie Savage had been seen at the club. It wasn't just from one person, wasn't from two, it was from numerous people had claimed that they'd seen him. Now, whether one person made it up, passed it round, and other people were trying to say, oh yeah, I saw him too,
Yeah.
We're completely, we don't know. We're a little bit in the dark about that. But that came up. Now, Charlie Savage, for anybody who doesn't know, is the son of Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage was born in Wrexham. He is from Wrexham. He never played for Wrexham. He played for some of the local youth sides here, Brickfield being one, which I used to play for, and Lex as well. And then he went to the Manchester United Academy, so never really had anything to do with Wrexham. Although in our dark days, I'm pretty sure this is 100% true, but
Again, we're not sure.
Well, not 100%, but I remember a story that when we were struggling, Robbie Savage paid the one of the electric bill for the club, and
I remember that.
I'm sure that's true, but that was back in the day. Anyway, so a lot of ties. So Robbie's mum still lives in Wrexham as well. So that's Charlie's grandma or nana or whatever they call her. So yeah, so a lot of transfer rumours were rife on this day. So Sian put a post out on social media.
I like how not we put a post out, Sian put a post out.
You always like taking credit for doing the social media.
Yeah, I know, but when things go a bit awry.
Yeah, so Sian put a post out saying transfer rumour. You know, about Charlie Savage, put a picture of him on and all that. Now, out of the blue, Charlie Savage replied to our tweet. Now, I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but if I'm paraphrasing what he said a little bit, to us, we understood it to mean, oh, very flattered to be linked, but
not.
But it is not true.
Yes.
That is paraphrasing. I'm not using the actual words he said for very good reason, because a lot of people jumped on this comment, started reposting it. Specifically, Reading fans started quoting his reply in tweets. He started getting a bit of abuse online because of what he'd said, even though we understood what he meant by his comment.
I think he was like,
it could have been taken another way, and we understand why Reading fans got a little bit annoyed by that. So anyway, weirdly, for a professional footballer with 116,000 followers as well, Charlie Savage's DMs are open, which I find a little bit odd because professional footballers don't usually do that.
Not usually.
So he then deleted his reply to our tweet.
Which again caused a bit of like confusion.
Yeah, people are going, you don't delete it if there's no
no
truth
legs
in
on it or anything
all
like
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, he then DM'd us directly saying, look,
a paraphrase again.
Yeah, so he basically said he was getting quite a bit of abuse online.
Yeah, which is bang out of order.
When he tweeted his reply, I screenshotted it. He then deleted his reply. People were then asking us, I'm sure I saw Charlie Savage replying. So then I, in the comments, put the screenshot of his reply. He DM'd us and said, would you mind removing that screenshot? Because that isn't what I meant. I could understand why it's been misconstrued, but I meant this. I replied to him and said, to be honest, I didn't think you meant whatever these people think you meant. And I said, I'm more than happy to take it off. I took it off. He's a lovely guy, by the way. We had a little bit of a chat with him. He's a really nice guy. You know,
he's a young lad, isn't he?
For a 20-year-old, he's got his head screwed on.
Yeah.
Lovely guy.
Yeah.
I took my shot by saying, look, if you know, you're going to have a great career. I love you as a player. If your journey as a footballer ever brings you to Wrexham, we will welcome you with open arms. I just thought I'd put that out there just so he might remember that in the future. But he was lovely, and I don't
think he will remember that.
I think it's all died down a little bit now. I think we're all going to move on with our life. He said he's not coming. Doesn't always mean that they're not, but I think
I personally, with the comment that he put and then the deleting of it, and I just think it's a bit far-fetched. I don't think he'd be coming to Wrexham.
No, I maybe not. It would be a great sign-in if he did. We need more young players.
We do.
We need more young players at the club. We've got some elder.
Try to repeat that again. We need more young players at the club.
we've got quite a few. Look, we've got great players, elder, but I would call them elder statesmen, in the sense of James McLean, fantastic, works his socks off.
Oh yeah,
is brilliant.
love him.
Stephen Fletcher, another one. Ben Tozer's getting to that age now. We do need a few younger players starting to bolster that lineup. I understand the model that we've got. And the model that we've got works really well in bringing these players in. And
what old players can we bring in this January? Older players, sorry, not old players.
At some point we're going to have to change that model a little bit and start to develop some younger players.
Yeah, which I think is happening.
Yeah.
Like obviously with the, I don't know if I haven't gone through the notes. I don't know if you want to talk about this.
Shock.
Owen and...
I haven't put that in.
You haven't. So with the transfer of Owen and Dan Davis.
Yes.
To Colwyn Bay.
Yeah, only on loan.
I know. I was going to say that.
Oh.
They're obviously on loan till the end of this season. So they'll obviously hopefully get more game time, develop their skills, blah blah blah. Then you've got Billy Waters, who's gone to Doncaster.
Yeah, there you go.
What did I say?
When?
I said he's gone somewhere else.
You did. I don't know what you were talking about.
Anyway, he's gone to Doncaster. So again, hopefully he will be able to develop his skills and probably go in the summer.
I was just about to cut across you and go, he isn't coming back.
I know.
He will come back because he's still our player, but he isn't coming back to start a game for us.
But I think Owen Cushion and Dan Davis, because I have said before, I really like Dan Davis. I think he's a great player. And the fact that I know somebody related to him as well, which I didn't know until recently.
Well, the other thing is, we look at another young player that we've had out on loan I believe both Jordan Davis went out on loan to Carnarvon, I want to say, sort of League of Wales anyway, and I think Max did as well, went out on loan. And look, we got some it's good experience, get regular game time.
If you're not getting regular game time in the first team at Wrexham, it's good to go out there and develop your skills. But there is the chance that when you develop your skills out in another team, maybe not come back to.
But
Wrexham.
It's a chance you've got to take if you're not playing. It is.
Billy seems happy anyway. He made his debut yesterday.
Oh, did
for
he?
Doncaster.
Didn't even look.
So
They lost though, didn't they?
Yeah,
never mind.
Who cares?
Anyway, Salford tickets. Let's talk about that. They went on sale last Thursday morning, and we didn't manage to get some. It is going to be our first away day, not for the want of trying, by the way. Tickets are like...
Well, we would have gone to Notts County if you hadn't got gastritis.
Yeah, so it's not the first time we have got tickets, but it's the first game, fingers crossed, we're going to go to. So we tried for Stockport tickets, didn't get them. Tranmere tickets, didn't get them.
MK Dons is now being played on Tuesday, so we can't go to that.
Bradford tickets we tried for, didn't get them. So we got Notts County tickets. I ended up with gastritis. We couldn't go to that one. So Salford's the first one that we've got tickets for. So we're really happy about that.
Excited?
Yeah, really excited. First away day.
I'm assuming you've been to Salford before.
I haven't been to Salford before.
Oh.
It's another reason I am annoyed by the Blackburn game, but I have been to Ewood Park before. Sian hasn't, but I have. So if I'm going to miss a game, if it's at a ground I've already been to, c'est la vie.
Hopefully, so we're kind of circling back to the FA, but hopefully if we get through to the FA Cup 5th round, we might get a Liverpool or an Arsenal or Arsenal aren't through, but
I would book some holiday for that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so we've got tickets for the Salford game, which is on February the 3rd.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. And we'll talk a bit more about that a little bit closer to the time.
Yes.
So we got a comment this week from David Middleton. One thing he said was Arthur's got to be more vocal in the box. He needs to let his defence know to pick up that back post runner. Now, what he was referring to was the Shrewsbury game when their player ghosted in at the back post. I just wanted to talk about Arthur a little bit because David, I completely agree. It seems that at the moment with what we've got in defence in that central area, we've got Arthur does seem a little quiet, you know, because when
Maybe
you
he can't open his mouth because of his mask.
no, he's always been like that.
I
You know,
know.
and I'm not sure why that is. He is a bit quiet. You know, when you're at a game, you know, not so much when you're watching it on TV, but when you're at a game like we are, you know, when we had Ben in goal, you used to hear him barking constantly.
Leighton and Dibble as well. They used to be quite vocal.
You just used to hear him barking at their defence all the time.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, the crowd sort of, you know,
Do it for
it's sort of, they do sort of drown out some of the noise sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever heard Arthur shouting though. And then you've got Max, who seems a little bit quiet in the middle. You've got Tom, who I don't particularly see shouting very much and calling out. So out of that sort of four, that little sort of triangle that you've got.
Max did on Saturday, you know.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he's the most vocal.
No, he's not. No.
So what you've ended up with is you've got Ben shouting at everybody, and Ben doesn't have 360-degree visibility. You need your keeper to be more vocal because your keeper is the one person on that pitch who can see everything in front of them, literally everything. And we just need him. I love him, but he's just a little bit more vocal.
Experience, though.
Yeah, some keepers have it straight away. They just you've just got to really get into your defenders. You know, even if it's Ben, if Ben's not picking up his man, scream at him and tell him to pick up his man. It doesn't matter he's the captain. Doesn't matter he's the most experienced person in that defence. As a keeper, you need to be screaming at him to tell him. And, you know, that needs to happen more. So, David, I would completely agree with that comment. But to talk about Arthur a little bit, one thing I told you is do not fall in love with a lone player.
Too late.
That's the question.
I don't think I'm the only one, though. A lot of people are like, please, can we keep him?
Yes. Look, I agree. I love him. Apart from the you know, maybe a little bit more vocal. I think superb goalkeeper. He's just young, a lot of time to keep developing. Perfect. In a lot of ways, I would say, you know, a couple of areas that maybe need to be improved. He comes for the ball. He's quite mobile, which I like. Love Mark Howard. I don't have bad things to say about Mark Howard, although if you compare him to Arthur, I think Mark is a lot more static. There were a couple of balls that Arthur came for on Saturday where Sean turned to me and go, Mark wouldn't have come for that, would he?
Oh, thanks. Throw me under the bus.
No, but you're right, is what I'm saying. Mark wouldn't have come for them in the way that Arthur does and commands the box.
But again, is that because he's had different goalkeeping training than Mark has?
Maybe because it might be more of a generational thing that, you know, they are a lot more mobile. But he just seems more mobile in general, I would say. But as with lone players, they can easily just get recalled. A drop of a hat. Tomorrow, Arsenal might go, we're cutting short his loan.
Even though they've said to us, we've got him till the end of the season.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, it would leave a bad taste in the mouth between the clubs.
Yeah. I don't think Arsenal will care.
I'm going to use two examples for you. So Swindon have two players. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Had two players. Dan Kemp and Jake Young. They were their top scorers at the club. Between them, up until the start of January, Dan and Jake had scored 30 goals for Swindon. They were Jake had won Player of the Month once, maybe twice, in League Two. And the problem with playing really well is for the club that you're at is that their parent clubs, basically Bradford and MK Dons respectively, went, oh, we'll have them back if that's all right. They were on season-long loans as well. And both their parent clubs have decided, we're having these two back because they're absolutely on fire. So the 30 goals them two have scored in the first half of the season, gone. Just like that, they're gone. And that is why having one lone player in your squad is dangerous. Especially if they're a very influential player, because they could be gone. To have two or three Doncaster, for example, they've just taken Billy. They're at their max now. They've got 5 loan players. If all 5 of them loan players get recalled, they're screwed.
Well,
So
one of them won't.
one of them definitely won't. You're horrible, you are.
I like Billy, but he's
not getting recalled.
He's
no,
not getting
he's
recalled.
Not. So you know, it's such a dangerous thing, and the fact we've got 1 is good. That we don't have 5 or
it's
2
a
or 3.
goalkeeper.
But it's one of our pivotal players, and at any point he could be gone. So it is a dangerous thing. What do you think our chances are of signing him long term? Honestly, forget the emotion out of it. Just be honest.
I can't see it.
No?
No, I mean, as much as I'd love it, I just can't, he's come from Arsenal. Arsenal are obviously a Premier League team.
Yeah.
Arthur Okonkwo is young. He's obviously a great goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's...
Do you know what the one thing I think saves us? Is that we haven't loaned him from MK Dons or Bradford. Yeah, another club in our league.
So he's not going to be going to them and
he's not
playing
going
against
He's
us.
not going back to Arsenal to get into their first 11, is he?
No.
He's not. Because they've got David Raya, they've got Ramsdale. He's not getting in that starting 11. As much as I love Arthur, he isn't. Do you know what I mean? He's very much down the pecking order.
Which makes me think why, as much as I say that it's not something that I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, surely it could. They may release him.
Yeah, they're not going to release him. They are going to want money for him.
Well, yeah, obviously. That's what I meant.
So the way his loan, I think, could end, he's not getting recalled to play in Arsenal's team. He's not, okay? That's simple as that. They've got strength and depth in that area.
Yeah.
So the only way he could get recalled, he played at Sturm Graz. So that's in the Austrian sort of top flight.
Mm-hmm.
So if a club, I don't know what the agreement between Wrexham and Arsenal is. I don't know if we've paid a fee to loan him. I don't know if we're paying all of his wages, a percentage of his wages, none of his wages. Any of them could be true, okay? So let's say we're paying a small percentage of his wages and Arsenal are paying the rest, and then he's on loan to us.
Yeah.
If a club went into Arsenal and said, we'll give you £2 million and we'll pay 100% of his wages, then potentially he would get recalled to go out on loan to that club. That is a scenario which has happened in football before. Again, I can't see that happening. I keep flipping between 1 and 2.
Why did you say flipping so weirdly then?
Because I wanted to say flitting, and then I couldn't remember what I was saying, so I said flipping. I'm flitting between, I think we got a chance of keeping him, to then going back to, I don't think we've got any chance of keeping him. I don't know, if I'm honest. I really don't know. I'm very much on the fence about what's going to happen. I'd love to keep him. I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. So, but Arthur, we love you. Please stay.
Can we keep him?
Yeah, like David did, anybody who wants to get in touch can do. They can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email us at methewife@gmail.com.
Should we talk about the AFC Wimbledon game now?
I suppose we better add, haven't we?
Right, well, first of all, I'd like to give a special mention out to an AFC Wimbledon player.
Yes.
Number 31, I think his name is Joe Lewis.
Yes.
What were those shorts all about?
A definite special mention for playing 90 minutes in gold hot pants. I think we salute you for that.
It was like...
It was.
I've seen so many memes and so many gifs.
Or GIFs.
GIFs of him. One in particular I thought was an absolute belter.
Yeah.
Was Kylie Minogue in the spinning around video.
Yeah.
Those gold hot pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also somebody put a picture of the gold hot pants and said these were found outside the club.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were. And somebody sent us a message actually saying that I hope Sian wasn't too distracted by the shorts. I was totally distracted, but not for the reasons that you might think.
I'll be honest. you say I hope Sham wasn't distracted. I was a bit distracted because it was just not so much from the back, just from the front. It was especially the side-on view. It was very distracting. It was. It's like it's one of them things that you go, well, I don't want to look at it, but it's just there, isn't it?
I don't understand the mentality behind it. My brother said 1990. Well, I said to you or Zach or something. Well, Zach wouldn't understand because he's like 8. But
yeah.
I said, 1990s putting their shorts back, and then my brother goes, leant over, went, the 1980s putting their shorts back, and I went, I've already done that joke, Dave.
Yeah, more 80s, I'd say, than 90s. Yeah, I'd say so.
But anyway, they were horrendous. And the kit, AFC Wimbledon's kit, disgusting.
They've got some really... basically, the blue shirt that they had on...
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that goes with blue shorts and blue socks. That kit's quite nice. I quite like it. The gold shorts as well go with like a gold shirt, and that kit is quite nice. For some bizarre reason they decided to mix the two, which is really odd. And honestly, it was vomit-inducing. It was disgusting.
It was horrible.
So bad. It was the worst kit we've had there.
I think it's their third kit.
Maybe, but individually, them two kits as a whole are very nice, but to mix them together, it looks
like, because the socks were gold and with like a blue band around them. But when players were like quite far away from you, it just looked like they had this blue band around. You couldn't tell they had socks on.
Yeah, no.
It was very bizarre.
It was odd.
It was a horrible kit.
Anyway, we were unchanged from Shrewsbury.
Yes.
No Mendy, obviously, he's at the AFCON.
Yes.
Just to talk about that, actually, the Gambia squad got on a plane on their way to is it in Ivory Coast? Yeah, it's in Ivory Coast. They got on a plane to go to the AFCON. And their plane had to turn around and come back because people were passing out on the plane because there wasn't enough oxygen.
Scary.
Yeah, that is a bit scary. So I think the flight only lasted 9 minutes.
I don't think Mendy was affected though.
He was no, and I think they realised quite quickly, turned the plane around and landed. So just if anybody's heard little bits of this story, just to let everyone know that our Mendy is fine, and they've landed and they've gone back again, but yeah, everything's okay, but probably quite a scary moment for him there. I'd say Wimbledon had the best of the first. I was trying to make notes during the game. Best of the first 10, 15, 20. The number kept going up. Really, they definitely had the best
first
of
half,
it.
I think.
Yeah, they hit the bar. Sasu hit the bar, didn't he?
Number 29.
Yes.
I'm shocked that he didn't score.
Yeah, 15 minutes in. It sort of felt like it was coming for them. You know, they were sort of chipping away. The one thing that massively helped us out is now I pride myself in knowing a lot about football, you know, in different areas, not just Wrexham, in a lot of different areas. Now, I was really worried about Ali Al-Hamadi, who played for Wimbledon. He's an amazing player. I still, to this day, have my fingers crossed that we might put a bid in for him. I think he is one of the best strikers in League Two. I definitely think he's one of them players who, at some point, he's going to move on from Wimbledon. And if Wimbledon are clever, they would put a definite sell-on clause on there to get something on, because I think he's going to make a jump up the leagues. I think he'll move on to sort of League One Championship, and who knows after that. A fantastic player. I was really worried about him playing for them. And then he wasn't in the team. So I looked if he was on the bench, and he wasn't on the bench. And I was like, that is an absolute result for us. And then all day I was really confused about why he wasn't there. So I'd Googled anything to see if he was like transfer rumours. And then I thought, was he injured? And then I think it was about 11 o'clock last night, or it might have been a little bit earlier than that. I went, I know why he wasn't there.
He's an international player, is he?
He plays for Iraq, and Iraq are in the Asian Cup. So he's been caught. And I was like, why didn't I know this? Because, like I say, I sort of pride myself in knowing quite a bit about everything, especially surrounding League Two clubs, and like I've even done research into what players have gone to the Asian Cup and what players have gone to the AFCON and all that sort of stuff, and I just missed him. I'd missed him completely off the list. And yeah, so he plays for Iraq and they're in the Asian Cup, so that's why he wasn't there. I mean, that couldn't
Mystery solved.
Well, it wasn't a mystery for everyone else, I don't think. It was just a bit of a mystery to me. But yeah, I'd missed it, and that's the reason why he wasn't playing. Couldn't have fallen any better for us, I don't think.
No.
Because
Thank you, Iraq.
Yeah, because I think
Team.
because I think he would have caused us problems, more problems than they caused us.
Do you
going forward.
know how many goals he scored this season?
I don't quite a few,
lot?
a lot. It's a lot. He has scored quite a few. Yeah, definitely. Sasu on the left was seeing lots of the ball, wasn't he? It was a case of he was causing Anthony Ford quite a few problems. And somebody had asked me in one of the groups that I'm in, do you think we need to swap Ford for Barney at half time? My comment to that was, and I think I alluded to this last week, that I think Ford is probably a better defender than Barney is. Barney's better going forward, but I think Fordy's better defending, and he was sort of turning him inside out a little bit, and Fordy was getting caught quite a bit. And I was a little bit worried because they kept pinging the ball out to him again and again and again. And I thought at some point something's going to come from this. He had another shot as well, which I think a Conco saved. It was sort of right at him, and he sort of just held it. It took him two goes at it. Our first shot on target didn't come until 44 minutes in. And it was an Elliot Lee header that was quite tame. It was straight at the keeper.
I was going to say the keeper had, if he didn't save that, then he deserves to be sacked.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it was 0-0 at half time.
Yeah, I'd take it. The way that the game started, I'm like, yeah, take it all day long.
The best we could have hoped for, really, with that first half. We didn't really seem to get going. And yeah, I'd have taken that. But something to talk about. At half time, we went live on YouTube. We did. We had a little bit of a chat about the game from the ground with the pitch behind us. We walked down to the new stand just to show people the new stand and stuff like that while you're at the ground. And it was very well received, to be honest, by a lot of the international fans who sort of liked it because they felt like they were a bit more involved in what was happening at the ground. What we didn't advertise we were doing it on Saturday, and the reason we
weren't sure it was going to work.
We weren't 100% sure it was going to work, but it did. It went down really well. So moving forward, we are going to do a live at the halftime of every game. So
whether it's we're not at the game or
the main purpose is the home games. We're going to be at every single one of them. We're going to do a live at half time. We'll take questions, which we did on Saturday. Post questions in the comments, anything that you want to ask, anywhere that you want us to go in the ground that you want to see. If you want us to go down, well, obviously we're not going on the pitch or anything like that, or across to other stands.
No.
But anything you want us to do, we're going to try and grab a few people, have a little chat with them, see what they think about the game at halftime. So we're going to do a regular halftime show from now on because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Sian was a little nervous with it.
Yeah, I'm a bit fun. Sit me in front of a camera where there's nobody around and I'll talk all day long. But if there's people around, I think people are judging me, and it makes me a bit nervous.
It doesn't bother me.
So you may have noticed yesterday I was a bit less vocal on the video than Ryan because, like Ryan said, he doesn't care. Whereas I do. I know I shouldn't care because I don't, whatever. But I do. I'm a bit of a people pleaser and things like that.
Look, it'll be, I'm more than happy standing there with the camera talking into it, and it doesn't bother me. Sian might take a little bit more time to get used to it, but we're going to do that every single week. Yeah. We'll take you away to the away games that we go to. Obviously, it's always going to be signal dependent. So when we go to Salford,
we'll have to try.
We'll do a halftime show there, and we'll walk around the Salford. We'll talk to some fans, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully, lots of fun, and it might be the start of a few other things. The full-time one might be a little bit more difficult. We tried it yesterday; it worked, so we're going to maybe try that one again.
I think maybe with the full-time one, maybe that's like something we do when we get home.
I don't know. I think it's just nice doing it at the ground.
It is, but it's just, and maybe it's something that we do when we're walking back to the car, or do you know what I mean? Just because it was a bit like, because you got all these people kind of trying to get out, and it's
so anyway, we look forward to sharing that with you in the future. We will advertise it a bit better the next time we do it. As I say, it was just a test, just to see how it went.
But it went okay, so yeah.
It did. Second half, first chance fell to Wimbledon. Joe Davison? Davison, number
Which
9.
one?
Number 9.
Oh, the one with the floppy hair.
Yes, him. He went clean through. He put it past the post.
That was a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, the EFL commentator, not Mark, said, when you come to Wrexham, they are the chances you have to take. And he was 100% right, because we score so many goals at home. It's very rare we fail to score at home, even though I think when we got to half-time, we hadn't scored and we hadn't really created any chances.
It's a bit of a shocker.
It was, but...
You had a face on you like a smacked bum, you did.
But Wrexham fans, you ask them, we all have the belief that we are going to score at some point. We know it's going to come. And it did, eventually. Stephen Fletcher ran the back.
You weren't there?
Fuming. Absolutely fuming.
You, Zach and David all went to the toilet at the same time.
It's a little bit of a lull in play. So I went down to the toilet. I was in the toilet, and then so my nephew and brother-in-law came in. And my nephew went, "Oh, they've just scored." And I went, "Yeah, whatever," because I haven't heard anyone cheering. So I'm pretty sure they haven't scored. Just as I said that, eruption, and I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" Now, your natural reaction when that happens is to run out, and then you sort of go, well, "Why have I run here?" It's not like I can rewind it, is it, and see it again? I don't know why you do it, but you sort of go, "Oh, let's get out there." Then it's like, "Oh yeah, I missed
it was a cracker of a goal as well.
I have seen it.
It's not the same though.
Shut up.
Me and your dad just looked at each other and went, "Yes."
It was very much. I'm not sure how many times we're going to get away with that, because it was a repeat of the Barrow goal. McLean corner to the back post. Fletcher had lost his man and was there, exactly the same as the goal he scored against Barrow. Now, I think a few clubs in the future might be looking at that, going, "Do not lose him. Don't lose him at the back post," because it obviously works, and it's worked twice for us now.
Yeah.
It was a great finish. I think for a lot of people don't quite understand how good of a finish it was. The ball dropping out of the air like that, to be able to control it in towards goal like that, that's no mean feat. I mean, your bog standard person trying that, I tell you now, do that 50 times and that's spewing off the top of your shin, that's coming off your foot and going the other way. It's difficult. I know that's his job, and he's a professional footballer, he's there to score goals. But
it looked like it was an easy thing for him to do.
It did.
On Saturday.
It's a lot harder than you would think to control
sure
that in that way. But yeah, it was excellent. And then what he decided to do was he wasn't happy with that. So the ball came over, he took it down on his knee. He had 2 players around him. He turned them, flicked it behind him, and then he played it out to McLean. McLean crossed it in. A little bit of luck. Came back of the defender. Mullin put it in for 2-0. But I would say, because Fletcher got man of the match, I would say it was totally deserved.
Yeah.
Totally deserved.
He got it at the last home game as well, Barrow game.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Because he got his hat-trick, didn't he? Yeah.
So. He scored one, and although he didn't get the assist for the Mullin one, it was all him. He created that out of absolutely nothing. And I did see a comment online. I didn't know who said it, so I do apologise. But somebody had said online, as much as we love Sam Dalby isn't doing that. He isn't taking it down in the way Fletcher took it down. He isn't spinning, flicking it back and creating that chance out of nothing in the way that Stephen is.
I get that, but still.
But so that's why Stephen's starting. And
I get
needs to continue to start.
Okay.
Fine. Another clean sheet. To 10th in the league this season, which is pretty impressive, I would say. Scoring lots of goals at home, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Some of the other results from this weekend. Stockport beat Walsall. 3-1.
Yep.
Mansfield drew with Morecambe. Fantastic result for us.
Yeah, well done,
and Barrow
Morecambe.
drew with Sutton. Another really good result for us as well. That leaves us second, 2 points behind Stockport with a game in hand. Mansfield play their rearranged game on Tuesday with Forest Green. So that was called off back in October because of a waterlogged pitch at Mansfield.
Yeah.
So they play that on Tuesday. So they've got the chance to go back up to second on Tuesday. It's the only League 2 game on Tuesday. Is the Mansfield game.
Right.
So we could Tuesday night. I mean, Forest Green look atrocious this season. I've got a big suspicion they're going to go down. And Mansfield are at home. They're playing Forest Green. The likelihood is I wouldn't be too surprised by the end of the day, Tuesday, that we're back down to third and Mansfield have gone back up to second.
We have still got a game against Forest Green, haven't we?
Yeah, rearranged one.
Is that an away? That was an away.
That was an away game. Yeah.
We don't cancel games now, do we? Because we've got our special pitch.
We've got our special pitch now. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we got one game.
Excuse me.
What?
Like, we cannot go past the AFC Wimbledon game without making a point.
Go on then.
I got the prediction right, 2-0.
I tried to skim over that.
I was waiting. I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to wait for him to finish talking and then move on to the next segment. And he's not even going to mention the fact that I won the prediction score.
I didn't even put it in the notes because I didn't want to. But yes, Sian got a prediction right. She went for 2-0. I went for 3-0. I do feel she very much went for 2-0 on the back of my 3-0. But it is what it is. I think... It was very much, I think I turned to you at 1-0. I said, I want us to score again, but I'm not sure I can deal with the stress of you having your prediction right and then waiting to see if I get mine right. But yeah, I think we both went for decent predictions, 2-0 and 3-0.
Again, Zach went for 3-0 at the start of the game.
And then switched. He switched it.
He was 2-0 again, so well done, Zach.
Yeah, well done, yeah. Look, we got Newport next game, one game this week. It's a League 2 game away at Rodney Parade. It's about 125 miles away from Wrexham. It's about a 3-hour drive. Now, the reason it's so long is the roads from North to South Wales are not great, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, it's about a 3-hour drive to that one. It's Saturday the 20th of January at 3 p.m. So it will be available for international fans on iFollow. The last game that we played against each other wasn't that long ago. It's a 2-0 win on the December the 23rd. Jones and Lee scored in that one in the second half to give us a 2-0 win. Question, do you think revenge is stronger? Do you think revenge is stronger when you've got a short turnaround in between games? Or do you think it's better when it's over a longer period of time because the revenge feeling sort of festers for a while? Or does it diminish over time?
I don't think it ever diminishes.
No, we were still holding the playoff final from 2013, up until when we played them. So it does fester for a long time. But what do you think about this short turnaround? Because we only played them 3 weeks ago. So are they going to want to come back at us more so than if it was at the end of the season?
Whether they have got the revenge built up in them enough.
Yeah.
They will always, no matter what, want to come back at us.
Yeah,
and they're home. They've got their own crowd. We won't have as many fans there.
Horrible ground, by the way. But anyway.
So yeah, I think they'll definitely come at us, and I think it'll be a good game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We won't be there because we couldn't get tickets.
No. They won away at Doncaster on Saturday. They won 1-0. Last three in the league, they've won 1, drawn 2. They're unbeaten in the last 4. The last game they lost was us on the 23rd of December. This season, they've won 9, drawn 8, and lost 11. They're 17th in League 2 on 34 points, and their top scorer is Will Evans, who has scored quite a few, to be fair. Prediction?
So we beat them 2-0. It's going to be tough. I'm going to go, I think, 2-1.
Yeah.
Obviously to Wrexham winning.
I'm going to stick with the same result from the first game. I'm going to go for 2-0.
Right, let's get that locked in, shall we?
While Sian's doing that, quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday from 7 p.m. till 8:30. The best thing to do is follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter for all the info. They also do every home game for anybody local who listens to this. They meet up at the Miners' Rescue at about 12:30 on a match day on a Saturday. So head down there if you want to do that. It's an amazing group organisation. Steve does an amazing job. All the details of how to get on that call are down in the description if you're watching this on YouTube.
It has been announced as well. Steve put a tweet out the other day that there will be a Dragon Chat women's peer support group. Obviously, we will start mentioning that on the podcast as well once we've got a few more details. But hopefully, as of next week, we can pass on some information about that.
Certainly.
Quiz time.
It is quiz time.
Quiz time. Excellent.
I've done a bit different this week.
Stop mixing it up because it really annoys me.
It's an observational quiz, all relating to the game on Saturday.
I am not observational at all.
I can guarantee you will get at least one of these right because it's something you've already mentioned in the game today.
Okay.
In the game.
In the game.
In the podcast. So, number one, we had a good look at the left winger Aaron Sasu in the first half, but did you notice what number
29.
he was wearing? Yes, there was options, but yes. You'd already said it, and I was like, oh God, that's one of the questions. Number two, Wimbledon midfielder with the surname Little has a famous clothing designer first name. What is it? Three options, Armani, Versace, or Valentino.
Oh my God, all of those names are horrendous, but I'm going to go with Armani.
It is Armani. It's Armani.
Armani Little.
That is his name, yes.
Oh no. Oh, you poor sod.
Okay. In what minute did we score either of our goals? And I will allow 2 minutes either way. You only get one guess.
Sorry, say the question again. I was still thinking about Armani.
In what minute did we score either of our goals?
First one was 61 minutes, second one was 69 minutes.
Hey, do you know what? I'll give you a high five for that one. Well done.
Fletcher first, Mullen second.
Number 4. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Wimbledon goalkeeper's surname is described in the English dictionary as any of numerous edible spiny finned freshwater or marine fishes. What is his surname? Would you like me to read that again?
Do I not get any options?
You do not.
Go on then.
Any of numerous edible spiny finned freshwater or marine fishes.
Salmon.
It's not salmon, although another version of the word, I knew you wouldn't get it, so I've given you another version of the word which sounds different but is spelt the same is described in the dictionary as the lowest adult male singing voice.
Tenor.
Tenor? You're going for tenor, the well-known tenor fish?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Tuna fish.
No. His surname was Bass.
Yes, it was. I remember.
We literally watched the highlights again about an hour ago.
Do you know what I was thinking? Because I thought, his surname's a little bit like ours.
Yeah. Fool. Okay, last one.
Yes.
Which food item could be seen in the Wimbledon starting lineup? Was it curry, lamb, or rice?
Curry.
Interrupting me, are you?
Yeah, curry.
I'm glad you got it wrong. No, it was curry.
It was curry. I know it was curry.
Yes, it was. Well done.
4 out of 5.
You didn't get 4 out of 5, did you? You didn't get Bass right.
That's the only one that I didn't get right.
God, you did get 4 out of 5. Yes. So used to getting so little.
Yes.
All right, chill out.
And I've been off work all week ill, and that's really good, that.
You can hear it in your voice.
I know, can it? Yeah. I sound like I smoke about 50 fags a day, which I don't.
No. Right, well, thank you very much for tuning in again this week. A few camera issues this week. I don't know what's going on with it, but we hope we managed to edit this together so it looked as natural as possible. But yes, so we'll look forward to seeing you again. Look forward to it? I don't know. How's the outro go?
We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah. All right, then. Bye.
Bye.